Hey everyone, thanks for coming over. We're going to be talking very quickly about how to actually, you should be stop writing tests. And the main thing I like to say is, usually as testers or as a testing organizations, we go about testing following this approach here in the middle, right? We have to understand what are the requirements, we have to understand what the testing scope is, and then we have to start writing the actual test cases. And then at some point, we're going to be thinking about what test data do I need in order for those tests to run. And then I'm starting to think about what are the interfaces or any third-party systems that I have to hit in order for me to complete my scenario. And then I'm going to start thinking about what can I automate out of all this. The thing is, obviously, as you go through each of these steps, it's heavily manual. You're always using your SME knowledge, you're using your knowledge of the organization, of the other systems, and just your skills. But it's all something that you do by yourself, and then you turn those test cases into words, and you turn the test data into maybe if you find a way to create data or generate data. The whole process is all manual, so it takes a lot of time. And at the end of the day, in Agile and with DevOps, we're all trying to figure out ways to get to test execution as quickly as possible so that we can get the developer to know whether their code has worked or has not worked, or has performed or has not performed, right? So if we think about going through all of these steps in Blue manually, as we have traditionally done, so creating the tests, we all understand the requirements, developer goes on to write the code, we go on to write the tests, we're always going to be behind development, right? Or at least we're going to always be trying to catch up. So this approach in an Agile and DevOps environment is not ideal, right? So what we are trying to do is really find ways to automate all of these steps in the middle, not get rid of them, because we do need the actual test cases, we need the actual test data, we need the actual interfaces or virtual interfaces, and we need the automation scripts in whatever language that's more important for you. But what you can do is use technology today to stop creating those assets or those deliverables by hand. You don't have to write them anymore. You don't have to manually script things anymore. You can basically get your Selenium scripts or your Appium scripts or whatever our other vendors here, Eggplant, Mobile Labs, all of those scripts that are going to run in whatever platform. You can generate those assets in an automated fashion, right? And it all starts from the requirements. You have your backlog grooming sessions or your requirement solicitation sessions with your team, like you have today. And then the output of that session is the automated assets or the automated deliverables that get generated. And then with that, what you get is actual, on day one of the sprint, you have all of your test cases created, all your automated scripts created, the data ready to be used and consumed by your pipeline if you are at that level. And your environments available, either real environments or virtual environments, depending on the technology that you're using. Now think about this, right? On day one of the sprint, today, you have to start creating those tests, right? What we're saying here is with technology, you can actually say, hey, we have all the tests. Not only we have them automated. So as the application code starts being deployed to a test environment or even a development environment, all of your automation starts is ready to go, kicked off by Jenkins, for example, or whatever orchestration engine that you have. So that changes the whole dynamics of testing, right? And then you can use your testing knowledge, your testing SME, or your business SME knowledge to do more things, to do more exploratory things, more intuitive things that can't be automated, right? So this is just something, it's a different paradigm that technology enables you guys to do. So if you want to check out how this actually works and how simple it is, we have some demo stations here. Guys are ready to talk to you about that. And I think now we're going to do the giveaway.
Done?
I'm done. I'm quick.
See, that quick.
Nice and easy, transparent, no fluff. And then we're going to do
no fluff. I'm all for
Yeah, that's with you, not me. And then we'll do, if you want a book, basically in the book, The Kitty Hawk Venture, it's a novel about continuous testing, how you can implement these concepts in the real world. So we've built characters based on real world
customers,
industry leaders, right? Like you've heard Adam Auerbach, you've heard Sylvia Prickle in other conferences. Anaf from Cerner. You have all these industry leaders that have led transformations of how testing is done in the enterprise environment. So we have taken all that experience, created characters, created stories, created political tension, all the leadership challenges that we have to navigate through. And we have built this story of a QA leader that has to navigate through all that in order to transform the way testing practices are implemented in the enterprise environment. So it's a very easy read, and it's easy for you to relate to at least one of the characters, right? And then, because the main question is not how do you do continuous testing, but it's more how do I start, or where do I start? What's the first step? And we all get the answers, it depends. Right? So the book will help you show a few different paths through the eyes of the different characters, and then you'll be able to think about your own environment and think, well, this is actually something that would work for me, this other part not so much. So it's a more practical approach to continuous testing. So hopefully if you guys are interested, we're going to be giving them away, and feel free to come in.
Yeah, Alex, one of the authors, Adam Arbaugh and Steve Filoni, two very key contributors, will also be here,
Right.
Signing books and signing copies of the book.